We did have this report over the weekend that the Bank of England Governor Mark Carney was said to be in talks with the UK Treasury about possibly extending his tenure at the bank. Now, he was planning to depart the Bank of England in June of next year. The BBC was reporting that actually now there are discussions underway. We got hold of a government spokesperson say that Governor Carney is still expected to step down in 2019. Of course, his planned date was June 2019. I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying again he's sticking to that. Whether there are ongoing conversations in the background, we'll try and figure out and bring that to you. But actually, if you look at Mark Carney, I guess the main concern, and this the markets haven't really latched on, is that you could potentially have Bank of England, governor leaving right in the middle of discussions still with Brexit. What would that mean for pound?
It's probably not great. I mean, any additional layer of uncertainty in a situation which is already very complicated is definitely not helpful. With one caveat, however, which is that Mr. Carney's stance has not necessarily been always very easy to read. So yes, it would add a layer of uncertainty of having a change at the head of the Bank of England. But the Bank of England, in any case, has been quite hard to decipher.
But this is because of Brexit, right?
It's because of Brexit, and because I think the Bank of England in general and Mr. Carney in particular has a problem in what to make of Brexit from an economic point of view. I think the big hesitation there is to try to decide whether or not it's a supply-side shock. If it's a supply-side shock, you may actually be forced to hike rates at some point. If it's a demand-side shock, you would want to do the opposite. And the Bank of England has been oscillating between those two options for a while. The issue is that I don't think we'll be able to decide between those two options before we actually see Brexit once it's actually delivered. So we'll have to wait possibly until the spring or even further into this of next year before we can make up our mind.